Imagine having the life of your dreams. Not temporary cash and glory, but happiness and inner peace. Explore new ways to be a creator and take your own journey into greatness. Is it possible? What does it take to make that happen? It takes the person known for extreme results. He's called the cage breaker and the ultimate catalyst. Coming back from the brink of death and now crushing it for himself and his clients, this is Your Ultimate Life Podcast with Kellen Flukiger.
Hello and welcome to this episode of Your Ultimate Life. I am so excited about this episode today. Today is the conclusion of the Pillar of Truth we've been building now for over a week. Now, as you know, the Palace of Power rests on 7 pillars. 7 elements are important to creating power, and we are taking this really slow. We're taking a couple of months, 65 episodes to take this apart, because power is a multifaceted thing. But the clarity is real power comes from the divine, and it comes from your connection with the divine. So make no question about that, or make no mistake. The first pillar that we talked about is the pillar of choice. And the second pillar was language. And the third is the pillar of truth, which we are concluding today. The 7 stones in the pillar of truth was truth is foundational, truth is factual, truth is perceptual, truth is principles, truth is independent, truth is powerful, and truth is eternal. Understanding those elements and aspects of truth are important in creating the power you want to do everything you want to do. Now, maybe you don't believe that. Maybe you don't believe you can have the ultimate life. Maybe you think somehow it's limited and away from you, or, you can't have it, or somebody else can have it, but not you. Well, let me take this moment to reassure you. You listening, whoever you are, wherever you've been, I don't care. Where you've been, I don't care what's happened. You can have your ultimate life, which is a life of purpose, prosperity, and joy that you create by serving with your divine gifts. Sometimes people say, well, because I can't wave a wand and gold bricks don't drop on my front porch, or immediately my health challenge is gone, my cancer is gone, or this problem that I'm in right now evaporates, or, my friend or my mate or whoever isn't brought back to life because they died, then I can't have that. That's just not true, because that kind of view of what I've learned, I'm not telling you what to think, but that kind of view meant I'm smarter than the divine. I'm smarter than the designer of this whole experience. And somehow I know more. It ought to be like I think it is. It just ought to. Why? Because I want it. I don't believe that anymore. I used to kind of believe it. I always kind of knew that was kind of weird and warped, but I don't believe that anymore at all. What I know for sure from my own experience is I actually have no idea what the best outcome in any situation is. I only have what I imagine, what I want, or what I think I want. And I've even learned sometimes if I get what I think I want, it isn't even a good idea. So there's lots of space here to grow. And I have spent the last several years totally focused on this personal journey to create power, not power over others. Like a lot of people think of power like a dictator has power to tell everybody what to do and command the army and whatever. I don't mean that at all. True power is power over yourself. Power over your own thoughts, feelings, wishes, actions, behaviors, choices, real power. And exercising that's true power. The true and biggest battle begins and ends in your heart, and that is truth, straight up out of eternity. So today we're concluding the pillar of truth. We've done the 7 stones. I just listed the 7 stones that we're laying in the pillar of truth, and we are going to talk more about what that means to add all those together. Well, first of all, it's really important to understand that truth is indispensable for power. real power, internal power, power to create miracles. There's a statement, I've talked many, many times about my personal truth and commitment statement, which is a declaration of who I am. And one of those pieces is I am at cause. I create my spirit, body, feelings, thoughts, and circumstance. Someone might hear that and think that I think that I'm the divine and I created everything. I don't imagine any such thing. But here's the real truth. Your body, for example, replaces all of the cells in a very short period of time. All the cells in your body are recreated in some, I forgot, weeks, months, not very long. And so what do you think the cells replace, or replicate themselves out of? Well, out of what you eat and breathe and everything else. Well, if the cells are replaced that way, then you do, in fact, actually and truly create your body. Oh, what about exercise? If you do or don't exercise, you create your body. So between what you eat, what you breathe in, and how you treat your body, you do, in fact, actually create your body. So why would it be any different with your spirit? The thoughts, the ideas, the wishes, the lusts, the yearnings, the angers, the bitterness, all of that, in fact, creates your experience and your spirit. You build it out of the nourishment that you do or don't provide. Now, with that truth in mind, I don't know about you, but if I'm not paying attention, and there was a good period of my life when I wasn't, that's terrifying. That is absolutely terrifying to think that I'm creating my spirit and it's created out of the crap that I used to put in it. Okay, and I don't even mean the bad stuff I did to my body, which was also terrible, but the thoughts and feelings and just how the attitude I had and everything, that creates who we are being, right? Now, in the last several years, I've been on an endless and never-ending upward quest to discover more, to connect more with the divine, to realize the truth of our collective divine potential. Now, here's the cool thing. I can't control anybody else, but I do have absolute and full control over me, and so do you. You are sovereign. You choose every single thing about your life and your experience. And people do all the time argue, well, I'm obligated, I can't do this and that. That's nonsense. That's excuses. And this might sound hardcore to you, but you chose the things that you have to do and you continue to choose them. A person says, well, my spouse, this, that, and the other, I have to X. No, you don't. And here's the reason that's important. It's not just to make a silly point about the fact that you could choose something different and then I'd have all these problems. What about embracing your choices? What about the truth that you could choose something else, even if you don't like the consequence? Forget that. That's just a barely beginning point. What about embracing wholeheartedly and recommitting your commitments? Let me give you an example. So let's say you pick a partner and you get married. And then in a few years, I'm married, okay, after my spouse, wife, husband, blah, 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 blah. And then you take a tone that's completely different, the weeks and months before your wedding or right afterwards, when everything was, oh, how wonderful, blah, blah, blah. What if instead you took another approach to the truth? You are married and have made a commitment. What if you said, I recommit. I totally and absolutely and with all the love and power in my heart own that choice. I recommit to the love, the joy, and everything about that. I reaffirm that commitment. I have that to do, and I love it. I live up to it every second. Well, that would be completely different than somebody who says, I can't go anywhere because my wife, husband won't, blah, blah, blah. What about your kids? You chose to have them, loving them all in with every piece of your heart, or repairing relationships. I am in that position. I have relationships I need to fix. I am all in, 100% loving, open, powerful, inviting to re-establish, to regrow, and move those relationships forward. That's how I am every single day. There's no anger, there's no bitterness, there's no frustration, there's no blaming, there's no negativity, there's nothing but open and loving feelings toward reestablishing, regrowing, rebuilding that space and relationship and connection. Now, that didn't happen overnight. That truth came to me slowly and with a great deal of work. Well, I love the fact that it's here now. I have moved in truth from a place of resentment, negativity, and hopelessness where I thought all was lost, it's too late, there can never be any hope for different things, relationships among them, to a place now where I am healed, I am forgiven, including forgiving myself. I am a beacon of love, a beacon of light, a vessel of love, and a conduit of power. I have a little saying, and I wanted to do it right. That is the truth. That's not a fanciful thing to say, and it sounds wonderful when I say it to people, ooh, that sounds cool, but it's a true thing. And so in the pillar of truth, I want you to understand your truth, that truth that you can own and know is eternal and it's invincible. Now, one thing that people enjoy doing is fighting that idea. No, truth is relative. Truth is whatever I say it is, or you can't know anything that's true. And you hear all that kind of stuff. Well, here's your choice. You can, and my choice, all of our choice. We can spend a lot of energy and time and effort fighting against the idea of absolute truth, fighting against the idea that we know, can know, or be blessed by knowledge of truth, or we can go into our hearts, connect with the divine, and be guided by eternal truth. So rather than fight against the idea of there being truth, why don't you lean into it? Why don't you love it? Why don't you embrace truth? That's something that I had to do. I was so far away from that to start with. But I can tell you, coming to the place where I'm connected with daily through my morning ritual, which I've spent a bunch of episodes talking about, to the fountain of truth, to the truth that I've declared for myself and my personal truth and commitment, oh, it's the most liberating thing I do. I had a question the other day from a client I was talking to, and where we came to after some discussion was the establishment of one or two most important things in life. And the two most important things that I have done is connect with the divine, understand that divine heritage, and create my personal truth and commitment statement. And to make those real, then I have that long morning ritual that I do. But it isn't because I just have nothing to do with my time in the morning. It's because that ritual reminds me and connects me with what I have declared that I am. It reminds me of the words that I have declared are mine. I own them. They are truth. They drive me, so it reminds me and it connects me. And that connection is wildly powerful. It is awesome. Now, here's your invitation. Do you have statements about who you are? I don't mean your profession. Do you own the fact that you're a divine creature every day? I am a daughter of God. I am a son of God. I am here with real and meaningful purpose. I choose to live into that purpose every day. I seek and listen to inspiration. I follow it without failure or without question. Those are bold statements. You could, and I encourage you with all my heart to create yours day in and day out. Learn. And you know what is also true? When we make bold declarations like that, I lean in every day to the truth of my divinity and I live accordingly. Well, we're not perfect. We're going to flunk. We're going to flop. We're going to flounder. So what? Anyone who dares greatly and making those kind of bold declarations, that's daring greatly. Well, anyone who dares greatly is going to fail greatly. So that means the choices we have is just play small and, try not to fail, and we fail anyway, or dare greatly, declare greatly, fail greatly, and carry a giant blanket of forgiveness. Because forgiveness of yourself and appealing to the divine for forgiveness, that is a fundamental source of power. That is another truth, absolute truth. When you choose to forgive yourself, and that doesn't mean excuse yourself, but forgive yourself and recommit to do good again, that's a source of unending power. The other choice is continue to recriminate, negative, blame, accuse, attack yourself. That's weak. That has no power. All that does is fill your daily backpack with rocks that are so heavy, eventually they just weigh you down and you can't do anything. So as we come to the conclusion of the pillar of truth, truth is eternal and unchangeable. The only thing that changes is our ability to perceive it and our willingness to use it. So sharpen your ability to perceive and lean into what is really true, especially eternal and divine truth. Lean into that. Choose to be willing to change, adapt, move forward, adjusting your viewpoint to that which we learn to be true, and not spending any time trying to convince the divine to change the rules so that it comports with the way we want it. I don't know about you, but I don't know enough about this world or eternity to even pretend to do that. My choice is to lean into, to change myself, adopt the principles as I learn them, lean into them the best I can, has been the most powerful thing that I could do. So take the pillar of truth, add it to the pillar of language and the pillar of choice, and let's keep building on your palace of power and creating your ultimate life.
Open your heart and this time around.
Thank you for listening to today's episode. We hope that you take it deeply into your heart and decide for yourself how you can create anything you desire. If you like what you heard, please subscribe to this podcast and share it with your friends. As always, we'd love to hear your feedback and topic suggestions. Until tomorrow, this is Your Ultimate Life with host Kellen Flukiger.
Stand with your heart in the sky and your feet